Welcome to Connecting the Dots, the official Securitas podcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Connecting the Dots. I'm Marina Amancio.
And I'm Carin Andersson, and calling in from the UK, we have Craig White. Craig, can you tell us who are you and what do you do in Securitas?
Well, thank you, Carin. Yeah, my name is Craig White. I am the Centre of Excellence leader for business intelligence. That's, in short, is about, encompassing our data and looking at our analytics across Europe and trying to improve, our application of the raw data and drive more consistency across the business and how we drive forward.
We do love talking about data in our company.
We do. We really do. We want to be data-driven, right? So that was a lot. I mean, just that phrase, to be honest. Tell us more. What does BI and data and analytics and do for the business? Can you please, give us a short summary or just give us a glimpse on what that is, actually?
Well, BI, so, business intelligence, BI. So I'll probably use BI throughout our discussion. So I would say, let me give you a textbook answer, perhaps. Business intelligence, it's something that combines business analytics, data mining, data visualization, data tools, looking at the infrastructure and best practice for, organizations to make better data-driven decisions. But humanizing that, I would say, it's a better way to visualize how your business is performing, what's happened, what you've delivered, help you deep dive into your data, help you understand why something has happened, enabling you thereafter to make better, more accurate, intelligent business decisions.
So it's both a reactive way of working, and also a proactive way of working.
Well, there's a journey to go on there. If you let me expand, I would say. So with BI data and analytics, there is a journey you want to go on from traditional BI to more of an artificial intelligence place, AI. When people start this journey, it's very easy to look at traditional reporting through BI and it almost being a pretty way to present your data. And, probably look at what has happened in the business. And to your point, Carin, being reactive. And that's why we probably generate the reports in the first place. And for me, how do we evolve from that standard reporting of reactive analysis and move into that more proactive space where you can look behind you? From reactive to proactive, exactly what you've said. And taking the data and analysing it more effectively, taking you from that, as I would say, descriptive into predictive and eventually a prescriptive place, which enables you to have that blue sky thinking and on a journey to machine learning and AI. And ultimately helping you improve your level of business intelligence and realising the value of your data to drive that competitive advantage.
And the data never lie, does it?
The raw data shouldn't lie. It's maybe how we use the data and how we analyse it. So if we do it right, then it shouldn't.
You talked about business intelligence, but what does it really provide? What data or information does it provide to us? Or could it provide to us?
So I would say that businesses have never had as much data as they have today. We're surrounded by data and information, both at work and both in our private life, and everyone's aiming to be more data driven. But it's how do we transform, the true challenge I would say is how do we transform that data into insights and action? And the very true definition of business intelligence is to provide the right information to the right people in the right time in a format they can understand and in a way they can act on.
Sounds like a communications plan to me. And a base for a communications plan. That's really good information if you're going to do a communications plan.
That's the way you think.
Yeah, that's how I think.
But I was actually going to ask too, what you just said, this hasn't been around that long, has it? Or maybe data has always been around, but are things I bet accelerated nowadays? No? I don't know. What do you say, Craig?
There's a real, drive from a lot of businesses to use their data more effectively. And, I've heard a lot of people talk about data as the new oil. And I would say, and I prefer to see it as the sunshine. The solar power does not end. It's there for many and there's the ability for it to grow. And if you handle it right, in the right ecosystems around your data, you can make a huge difference in your business. And as I've said before, you do realize that competitive advantages. And I think if businesses, it's a common phrase, if businesses knew what they already know, everyone would be performing much more effectively. So everyone's busy, and we need to find ways to help these really busy people, providing the data at the click of a button at every layer of the business. And I just want to put data at the center of everything we do so we can make faster and more accurate decisions.
Right. I love that sunshine metaphor because I think it really, like, as you said, really feels like data never ends. If you think about it, kind of like the sun, the sunshine. So I love that.
So all of this sounds really exciting, but what would you say are the pitfalls in this? I mean, there must be something, right?
Oh, there's a few, but I'll try and focus on some of the key ones. One of the most powerful things I probably say to people over and over is that this is not an IT project. It's a business program. It's a business transformation. And what we have found is that senior management sponsorship is critical to this. Having the whole business bought in to what we're trying to achieve. As it being a business program, communication, change, data literacy are so important to, they need to be at the heart of what we do. And there's so many stakeholders in the business, at all layers that need to have some input into this, and the people who are going to use it front end, people that are working, group and divisional levels, they all have different requirements, and you need to find a balance in how you prioritize your efforts. And there's no doubt that, when you enter into this and look at implementing BI and the central data warehouses and all the other fancy IT that goes on, how are you going to scale that? Mm-hmm. And IT right now it's a hard place to recruit. It's a competitive market, and we rely heavily on internal and external resource and having the right partnerships to be successful.
Mm. Do you think, I just thought about it, do you think there's like some kind of fear of data, when you say, you need like involvement of so many people and, communication, talking about change in data, like maybe it's like scary, do you think people still have that view of it? Might be like hard to get involvement or?
Yeah, I think the GDPR culture that was upon us, that's definitely, businesses have had to learn really fast in that space. And people in the past have made mistakes, and we've come on a steep learning curve there. So I think in some ways, people have got more data governance in place. They're creating more trust with their internal and external partners, the end users or our customer data. We need to make sure we've got integrity there, that we protect this information. So putting the right processes in place is definitely going to help that journey.
All right, but like you need some kind of investment in this too, right? Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always going to be easy to get investment in IT because people understand it. That's my point. It's not an IT project, it's a business program. So there is other roles in the business. Now, I think for those that are listening, they'll understand that it's obvious to have roles like ETLs, which is for extracting, transforming, loading the data warehouses, data modelers, very IT-centric. But the roles that, is the challenge to get the buy-in from your stakeholders around those citizen, client, customer, business-facing roles that maybe do some real cool, exciting stuff around data science and data development. And even roles that are crucial to data governance. From a business perspective, roles such as data stewards. Back to my point I made earlier about the trust element here. We need people to understand the business needs, and how do we manage data from a variety of sources? Making sure that we're gathering data and we're storing it in the right way within our organization. That there's documentation and rules around the data collection, that how do we store and use it, and ensuring access to the right data, the right data at the right time based on whether information is private or corporate data or sensitive data. I think the data steward, if I was to summarize, is one of the examples. Somebody who brings that business perspective in their approach and links in with an IT equivalent role such as a data custodian.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Craig, for this first half. This was a really good dive in like what business intelligence is, and we touched upon so many important topics. Now we're gonna go for a little bit of a break, and then we can dive into BI and Securitas. So
Exciting.
Yep. So see you in a bit.
Yep.
You're listening to Connecting the Dots.
Data literacy will be one of the relevant data analytics trends to look out for in 2022. Data literacy is defined as the ability to understand, read, write, and communicate data in a specific context. This means understanding the techniques and methods used to analyze the data, as well as the tools and technologies implemented.
So we're back from the break.
Yes, we're back. And we're here with Craig, and now we're going to do a little dive in Securitas and business intelligence.
Yeah.
So let's just kick it off with that. So what are we doing around BI right now within Securitas, Craig?
Oh God, Marina, it's so much, I would say. For us, it's a busy time, and we actually fit into part of a larger transformation across Europe. And one of the key initiatives as a business is, how we strengthen and scale up our platforms. And, BI is one of many IT and business changes that need to happen to support that wider transformation. And I would say for me, the most exciting part about BI is it gets the opportunity to touch all areas of the programs across so many European countries. So great to be involved in, and great to, have a hand in, what everyone else is trying to achieve.
When we do this, larger transformation for program for Europe, we need to have KPIs. But what are KPIs, and how can you use KPIs?
So yeah, good point. KPIs are essentially, key performance indicators. And, we were aware that we had to start with some meaningful KPIs that centered around key parts of our business, like finance, HR, and operations, that were relevant to the business, and something that gave us the ability to expand on and enhance as we developed the central platform. And in time, we could add more operational data, risk prediction type information and external data to help us, as I've said before, guide the business to make better decisions at all layers, and ultimately get into a place that there's just a single pane of glass or a central page that, our businesses at the click of a button just go to that central location, and it really enables them to fly their brand, should you say, and, like being in the cockpit of a plane, that, everything's in front of them in one space. How do you move forward?
Right. And I can only imagine, like, of course, if you have all this data, you have to be able to measure it right too, right? So if you don't have the right KPIs, it's probably for nothing if you don't do it right.
There's a real danger that you can constantly create KPIs because, there's so much data out there, but you need to be targeted in what you're trying to achieve, because, it needs to add value to the business. And I think, back to probably what I said earlier, the importance of the stakeholder groups that you need to work with. You need to understand that what do they need, and that's why you need to take that almost 360-degree review, perspective, should I say, of what people need to drive performance and improve their KPIs.
So can I ask? I know this is about BI and so on, but talking about Securitas, we're such a large company. I mean, the amount of data in here must be, huge. Oh,
it's massive. And, we as a business, and we always say, if Securitas knew what Securitas knows, and, the work to bring this all together is significant. And, I'm never going to hide behind the challenge that, resource and, IT resource is always going to be a challenge. It's a real competitive market at the moment. And, we've had to find the right partners to help us on this journey and supporting our challenge and the growth and our BI ambitions. And we'll continue to work with a blend of internal and external resource. But, simultaneously, we are looking how we can scale up internally, scale up that operation to create that central BI department across Europe. And it's important that we continue to invest in these individuals. We want to, especially around the business roles, how fabulous would it be to bring our own people and create that future opportunities for them? And, how do we get great people, bring some fresh ideas externally? So, the development internally, the recruitment, and we need a good balance in in what we're trying to achieve in BI between IT and business roles.
And I guess the progress, if you look at the discussion in society and in other businesses, they're moving so fast. So we need to keep up, right? We need to keep up with the development also in this area as a whole. I mean, we need to do that in Securitas and keep up as a whole, right? Which, did that make sense?
100%. Yeah, and I think I really enjoyed one of the Join the Dots she did with Helena, and she spoke a lot about our purpose and our strategic aims, and we're definitely as a business, it's nice to see how we've shaped that from the top down, and in particular the point I'd probably focus on there is our ambition to be data driven. And it's so key that something that really supports the transformation efforts for ourselves and across Europe is having a key strategic aim which underpins everything we're trying to do. And how great is it, to get senior stakeholder engagement and on that level to really realize our data ambitions and support the growth of BI, data and analytics.
Right. We have a lot of data, and I'm sure this takes a really long time. So how long is this journey? Where is this going to? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, as I would say there, around, we've got a lot of data and the data is only going to increase. So I think I would probably answer that by saying it'll never truly be finished. I think we're on a journey to change our way of working, and, change will remain key to everything that we try and do in the BI sphere. And what remains for me is a real focus area is communication, albeit whether internal or external, has to remain front and centre what we do. And that communication is two-way. We'll continue to build our platform from the bottom up. And we will, we need to be conscious about the fact that we need to translate outwardly to the business at every stage of the development, the value that we are bringing to the business.
Right. I love how everything just tied back together, as it's a real ecosystem, feels like, that's really cool. Like, as you're saying, you're just connecting to so much of what we do as a company.
So, of course, we need this data. We need to keep on driving the business and continue to be data-driven going forward. Can you elaborate on that, Craig?
Yeah, certainly. I think, we need to work with the data in our system, and we need to continue to provide valuable analytics. And I think this will be a bit of a step-by-step that, we need to see, analytics will evolve, where the business is going, will determine the analytics that we want to focus on. And it ultimately comes down to how we evolve our decision-making processes through this better application of information. It all comes back to, we're running a business here, and we need to use this to drive our performance, across our countries, across the division. One thing I just want to make, everyone needs to be aware of, once the solution's in place, the development of IT, and we've got the impact, the information from the business on what matters, never ever forget about the importance of adoption and usage. It's only going to add value, people use it. And, we need to make sure that value is realized.
That's great. I mean, I've learned so much. I always feel like end of episodes, I'm always like, wow. And, I really just want to finish up with that, because I do feel like it feels like an ecosystem. Like, and when thinking about the episodes of Connecting the Dots, I also think that we have kind of like it's very connected. I mean, pun intended. Pun intended,
You shouldn't say that. It's really intended, right?
Thank you so much, Craig, for being here and joining our episodes. This was so enlightening.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving, let me speak a bit about BI. It's such an awesome solution, and, the steps we're taking, to drive the business strategy and what we do, I think is amazing. And, it'll be a key focus for years ahead.
Right.
And you can really hear that you're really excited about this topic.
Passionate. That's always good.
It's so cool. I love it. I love everything about it. And I go back to my point around being the new oil. I'm I've lived my life in Aberdeen and been around oil, so it's nice to be part of the next world's oil. So
But it's
yeah,
the sunshine.
exciting.
It's the sunshine. You should say
You're the sunshine.
Yeah, we get to be the sunshine.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not over yet.
No.
This episode. We actually have our connection game.
Yeah. Do you know about that?
I think I remember. Yes. So hit me with it.
So we will say 3 words, and you will say whatever comes to mind. The first
Okay.
thing that actually pops up, you will actually say something, okay?
It could be a person, a memory, a place, anything really. Like just let your mind flow.
So the first word is limitation,
There is no.
right? In data, there is no limitation.
No, I think it's probably we hold ourselves back if
Right.
Yeah.
if we think we're limited.
Right. And our word number 2 is home. You just talked a little bit about it though. So
Home. Probably say work-life balance
oh.
and hybrid working. I think that's why I say that. So we've had an opportunity to be at home more now, and it's been really good for a lot of reasons. So yeah, hybrid working.
And the third word is sport.
Oh, it's going to have to be basketball.
Okay, why?
It's fun. Oh, I played it all my life. I love it, and I think it's something that there's so many business lessons there. You go. It's such a game which is important about fundamentals. If you want to move forward, you need to have that core right, those fundamentals right, and it's something that I take a lot of learnings into my personal and work life. So
I love
that's a good question.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I love basketball too.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
I used to play.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
There you go. We have basketball players here in the podcast today. Well, now we're done. Now we're done. And what a great episode. Thank you so much one more time, Craig.
Love you. Have it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and have a great day, ladies.
Yes.
Thank you.
You too. And thank you everyone for listening in. Make sure to check our previous episodes, and I'll see you on the next one of Connecting the Dots. Bye.
Bye.